The movie? Good. The poster? So bad. Hey there, creepy peeps. I'm Nightmare Maven. Welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new here, hi. I talk about horror movies and books all year round, all spooky stuff all the time. So if you end up liking this video, you should subscribe. Mike's request this month is considerably better than last month's. To be honest, I'm still not over the trauma, but I'll do my best to make it through this video. Written and directed by Babak and Vari, Under the Shadow takes place in Tehran during the Iran-Iraq War. Shide's apartment is hit by a missile that the other tenants are convinced brought a malevolent spirit with it. The first thing to mention about this movie is how subtly it transformed from like a family drama to an actual horror movie. So the movie begins with Shide being denied the opportunity to finish getting her medical degree because of her previous political activities that we don't see in the film. She's feeling understandably beaten down by the super strict gender roles in her country, especially when she perceives that her daughter likes her husband more than her, and then when she tells her husband the news, he's kind of like, well, maybe this is gonna be a good thing, you know, you staying at home. And then all of this is just exacerbated when her husband is called to the front lines of the war as a medic, and Shide is left with her daughter amidst all the scary stuff happening around her. From the minute the missile strikes Shide's apartment, you're screaming at her to get herself and her daughter Dorsa out of there, because it's maybe a miracle it didn't go off. Some of the tenants believe maybe it was a curse that it didn't go off, because it brought with it something potentially worse. It's like, for obvious reasons, they could very easily be hurt or worse, killed staying in Tehran. And then before you know it, the movie turns into you screaming at them to get out of the apartment because of the scary shit happening there in the form of a djinn that seemingly attaches itself to Dorsa. I feel like those two plots go together so well, like war-torn city, malevolent spirit haunting an apartment. It's like, when I say it like that, it doesn't sound like they go together, but it blends so seamlessly in this movie. They really did a fantastic job of blending the djinn mythology with the feminine rage that consistently burns at the heart of this film. And I specifically wrote down a quote from the film because I feel like it perfectly kind of like summarizes the themes of this movie so well. So to give some context, the quote is during a part in the movie where some scary shit's going down in the apartment and Shide's kind of like had enough, so she goes literally running from her apartment with Dorsa in the middle of the night, obviously not paying attention to the fact that she doesn't have her headscarf on. While she's running out of her apartment, she gets stopped by the authorities and arrested for not wearing a headscarf. She's held at the police station for a while and then eventually is let go. But like the head officer guy that decides to let her go tells her, and I quote, "A woman should be scared of exposing herself more than anything else." And just a little side note, if that line does not light the rage in your belly, but it's such a jarring moment in the film, but it sums it up so well, because we start off with all these very realistic things that Shide should be scared of, should be frustrated by, should be angered by. And then it turns into obviously kind of a more supernatural reasons for Shide to be terrified and scared and uncomfortable in her own home and in her own apartment building. Only has so much at her disposal to try and help because she is a woman. For some dude to tell her like the thing she should be most scared of is her hair not being covered. It's very much like, you know, like the husband in the spooky movie that doesn't believe anything supernatural is actually happening and the woman's just hysterical. Like this whole movie's big theme is very much like the perception that men have of women's struggles. They just don't see at all everything women go through, especially in these extremely strict, conservative, patriarchal societies. Like there's a literal war going on and a man tells her the thing she should most be afraid of is not guns, not missiles, not war. but exposing herself. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right, but Nargis Rashidi, who plays Shide in the movie, did a fantastic job. All of the emotions she portrays are just, they're like tangible. It's palpable. You can feel her anger and her frustration and her rage and her fear and every single emotion that she experiences in this movie. I immediately felt a connection with her character from the get-go, and it's almost insidious that like I didn't realize how wound up I was about the movie until we were well past the halfway point and shit started getting scary in a supernatural sense. My only gripe, if I had to pick out one thing with this movie, is that I wish it kind of went a little bit harder at the end. I feel like they just blended the real life horror and the supernatural horror so seamlessly. I just kind of just wish it had built up like that supernatural ending to like a little bit more of a fever pitch than it does in the movie. If you haven't seen it yet, don't let the poster fool you. Normally I don't mention the poster this many times, but it's truly bad. I don't know why they did so much CGI on it. The poster does not make this movie look good. It is a really fantastic slow burn horror that's both simple and yet it's got so much to say, and there's so much going on in this movie theme-wise that it's just, I feel like it was a really rewarding watch. And if you've seen it already, of course, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a creepy peep today. And I will see you very soon with a new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye.